evening, bonjour, buongiorno, buenos dias, ni hao, or as they say in Armenia, barev, which is the way of saying hello in Armenia. This is the fourth live stream of Vino Voices, and tonight we're doing a little diversion from the en primeur tasting of Bordeaux wines, and we're speaking exclusively about Armenian wines. And we're going to have four guests tonight. One is Vino Voices. I'm an American in Bordeaux, and we are glad to have you here tonight. Let me tell you a little bit about the country of Armenia. I'm not going to speak too much tonight because we have four people who are going to speak instead. So the country of Armenia is located in Eurasia, base of the Caucasus Mountains. It's about the size of the country of Belgium. It's about twice the size of the United States state of Connecticut, about 1.5 times the size of the country of Wales. Population about 3 million. Summer can get up to 48 degrees Celsius, 118 degrees Fahrenheit. Winter, minus 10 degrees Celsius, 14 degrees Fahrenheit. And the people are wonderful. The wines are great, and I'm going to explain why. And the food it's almost Mediterranean. It's beautiful. It's very healthy also. Okay, so let me just give a quick, very, very quick overview of the wines of Armenia. There's a cave in Armenia called Areni 1, and they found remnants of these clay jars, about 1.5 meters in diameter, and seeds in there, and they found that they were making wine for ritual purposes 6,100 years ago, a long time ago. About 400 BC, the Greeks moved through Armenia, and they noted how the Armenian people were friendly, and they gave them beer and wine. And then the Soviet era, 1940s to 1980s, they just wanted quantity, and they also wanted brandy. So the quality of Armenian wines went down. The last 5 or 10 years, the Armenians have gone all over the world, made their fortunes, whether it's California or Argentina or Tuscany, come back, they appreciate wine, they have made friends with the best enologists in the world. They get these guys in as consultants. They have the money, they have the interest, they have the passion, they have the know-how, and they're bringing that into making some amazing wines. And that's what's going on in Armenia now. So first I'd like to say, first of all, thank you to Rima Abrahamian Torosian, the PR manager for Vine and Wine Foundation of Armenia, because she contacted me, we discussed putting this together. And that's how this live stream came to be. And now I'm just going to look online, and I'm going to find the director, Frunz Harut Yunyan of the Vine and Wine Foundation of Armenia. Okay, so, excuse me while I look around here, guys. Okay, I think this is it, VW of Armenia. So let's give this one a go. Hello. Wave. I don't want to wave. I actually want to put these guys online. Once more. No, I can't. Okay, friends, for some reason, you'll have to send me an invite. But in the meantime, let's do a little more talking about Armenia. And I'm going to tell you, and then if we can't get friends on, we'll try other winemakers and come back, okay? Okay, they've joined. Okay, they don't seem to be able to. Anyway. So I visited Armenia last October, and I found that it was a great place to be, wonderful people, as I mentioned. The city of Yerevan was a big surprise. They have all these wine bars. They have a street called Wine Street. 10 years ago, they had one wine bar in the country, even. Now they have dozens. And every year they have a festival. You know, people come from all over the country and to the city of Yerevan, and they spend 2 days tasting wine and enjoying. All right, so we'll try once more with getting friends online, and if not, we'll get another winemaker. Oh, here we go. Okay. I see Old Bridge is here. Hold on a second. Old Bridge Winery. We're telling your Vollers that you started. Okay. Okay. Let's see Jane from New York, Brant from California, and let's see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the Old Bridge Winery. Okay? All right. Old Bridge Winery. Viewers, let's see. Old Bridge Winery. Let's see. Okay. Old Bridge Winery. Let's go. Go live with Old Bridge Winery. Okay, add Old Bridge Winery to your live video. Yes. Well, you're the director, so we'll chat with you. Okay, Old Bridge Winery. I think they're connecting. It is connecting. Ah!
Hello, Tom.
Hello. Okay. So, Moshe.
Yes.
When I was there in October, I tasted your wine. We had a great lunch. Fantastic. And before we start, why don't you tell us about the actual old vine that is nearby that Marco Polo crossed in when he did his exploration?
Yeah. Hello to everyone. You've got a nice bottle there. We are right now. We are at our winery at the restaurant next to it, the tasting area, and the bridge, which you can see behind me on the banner and also on all our labels, is the famous Old Bridge. The bridge is from the 13th century and is situated in the valley right in front of the winery of ours. This bridge was a part of the very famous Silk Road, which merchants were using to transport goods from Asia to Europe.
Road. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
And mainly it was the silk that was of a very high value and interest for merchants in Europe, which was transported by this route. And it was passing through this bridge, which is a very beautiful piece of architecture and has a very interesting form, because each stone in it is leaning on the one underneath. So in such way, every single stone that was originally used for the construction of the bridge is still sitting in its place. So it is a very beautiful piece of architecture.
13th century.
Yes, a must see for everyone.
Yes. Well, Sheg, so I'm going to taste some of your wine. This is made with the Armenian grape, correct?
Yes. Yes.
So, why don't you tell
all
us
our
or a Shiraz together with or a Syrah together with the Okugozo. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to have a little. You got a lot of cherries coming out here. And where do you export to? You sell in the United States?
Yes, we export to 6 different countries, including United States, both coasts of it, and also several countries in Europe, including UK, Switzerland, Sweden, Italy, France, and yeah, being a small family-owned company producing only some 15,000 bottles a year, we are very careful in choosing exporters, because our goal is that all our exporters everywhere in the world should put the same passion and love in representing our wines in those countries like we do here in Armenia while making those wines.
Great. Okay. You have any other further final thoughts you want to share about why you enjoy your work?
We do love what we do because everything that happens here has been started because of the passion. Because of the passion of making great wines, because of the passion and the goal of presenting our country through our wines. That's why
Right.
we are always out for high quality, and we are always happy to meet all the beautiful people who visit us, try our wines, and get to know our country.
Moshe, thank you very much. I love the wine.
Thank you so
Love
much,
it.
Tom. Thank
Okay,
you.
take
Thank
care.
you so much. Enjoy it.
All
Take care.
right.
Bye-bye.
You too. Thank you. Okay. Now, let's go to wines. Can't get them, unfortunately, but we shall. Hello, Susie. Nice to have you here. Wine Tours Julia from Sicily, Laura from Blai, and Ariadne Ruzzo from Italy. Very nice. It's great to have all you people here. And I'm just going to look for Vino. Okay. Take me to your wines. Okay. Domitila. And let's try. Here we go. Hold on. Go live. Let's see if this works this time. So, beautiful country also. Mountainous.
Hey, Tom.
Hello, how are you? Franz.
Hi, Tom.
I couldn't get you the
Finally.
first time, but it's
Yes.
nice to have you here. So this is, Franz is the director of Vine
Deputy
and Wine
director.
Foundation of Armenia. And
Deputy
they're
director.
doing a great job because in the last 3 years, they're taking all the wineries in Armenia and coordinating them and getting them together. So finally they're talking and they're working together. Whereas before the mentality was sort of insular and isolated. So why don't you tell me a little bit about, Franz, what you guys are doing and what's happening with Armenian wines?
Well, first of all, I'm the deputy director, so no confusion with the deputy director. That's important in Armenia,
okay.
You know.
It is. Sorry, deputy director. Okay.
So yes, indeed, Armenian wine is booming right now, Tom. So in your last visit, you had a glance. You saw the new investments that are really successful right now. So people are really into Armenian wine. People who are either from the sector or from outside of the sector, they both share this passion for wine. So as you mentioned, during the Soviet times, we had a different kind of economy, a wine economy. Yes, most for the cognac or brandy and for the dessert wines and for the quantity. As of now, Armenia is moving towards a high quality wine production. And yes, a lot has been going on in Armenia, and it will get better and better. And I think people will hear about Armenian wine.
Well, they already are.
Yes, they already are, and we are talking about it. Yes.
How many wineries do you represent about?
The foundation works with there are around 50 wineries in Armenia.
Okay. And why don't you tell us just briefly what the most important grapes are?
One of the cornerstones of success, of potential success or current success, is the Aboriginal gene bank that we have, the Aboriginal varieties that don't only grow in Armenia. So by the beginning of the century, we're numbering it around 800. And nowadays, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, we lost a lot. The collection orchards, the vineyards. Now we have around 400 varieties, out of which we use around 15 or 20 right now in the industry. And the most prominent ones, you already mentioned Areni. Of course, Areni is the king of Armenian red varieties. Yes, you're trying the beautiful wine from Old Bridge. It grows only in southern region of Vaydor. It resembles Pinot, as a lot of people are saying, but it's not entirely Pinot. Of course, it's very different.
Right.
The second one, the white Voskeni, a very noble variety. From the red side, we have Khandorni or Sireni, which grows in Artsakh. it has a very deep color, and it's a very deep tannic grape variety. It gives tannic wines, which needs a longer maturation period in bottles, right?
Okay.
We have Tantinier varieties like Kamrahud or Hachtanag. These are hybrids, which gives very exotic flavors and deep coloring, right? Also, we have multiple other aboriginal varieties that are not now in the making. You know, the wineries are experimenting with that. So
Sure.
basically, what we are having here is a renaissance of Armenian winemaking, and
Good.
lots of people don't know the full potential of aboriginal varieties.
And what about how many different wine regions are there in Armenia?
So we have five main wine regions. We have Ararat Valley, which hosts now around 10,000 hectares of vineyards. So that's more than 2/3 of the whole vineyard, right? So it's 16,000 total hectares in Armenia.
At the base of Mount Ararat.
Yes, it's Ararat Plain, we call it. So white varieties on Ararat Plain. And then in the southern region of Vayotzdor, we have mountainous region, where we have the main red winemaking region, and the Areni originally comes from there. You mentioned the cave. The cave is also there. So
right.
The other region that has risen to prominence, the Aragaton region, close to Yerevan. So it's in a driving distance. It's very convenient, and it offers a really good terroir and has a long winemaking history once again. So that's third region, and up in the north we have Tavush. It's a lashy foresty region where people are uncovering the potential of the white varieties for sparkling and for just white refreshing wines. So that's and also Artsakh, as I mentioned, in the east. So we grow there entirely different kind of grapes. I mean, Armenian grapes, but they're different from what grows here. And this Khandovni or Sireni is a really bold variety. You know, it's a really bold variety.
Great. So thank you very much. You've talked about the grapes, you talked about the areas, you also talked about the history. I appreciate it very much, Franz. Thank you so much, and I look forward to coming back to Armenia for more good wine and good food.
Yes, we wait you, Tom, and thank you for this. Thank you for this live video, and I think a lot of people appreciate it, and they will get to know more about Armenian wine.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you came on. Thank you so much, Franz.
Thank you, Tom.
Take care.
Thank you. Take care.
All right. Okay. Now let's have a look at who else we have here. Alina. Hello, Alina. Alina is the daughter of one of the winemakers we're going to be talking to tonight. She lives in Moscow's part of the year. Here, Roland. Hello, Roland from Amsterdam. ArmAs Wines is here. Okay. Let us go and speak with Victoria. Let's see how we do this. Okay, don't see. Let's see. Let's see if you can join us, Victoria. Send a request if you can, because I don't seem to be able to get you on. Okay. In the meantime, let's see if we can find another winer. There's Josh from Napa Valley, excellent winemaker, and Nico, the musician from Provence. Okay, so I'm just looking now for. Let's find. We're going to get another winemaker here. I'm just playing with the screen, so be patient, guys. This is technology. I'm just looking for the winemakers here. Woo, we have a lot of people. Okay. Let's see. Tussin Winery. Andrew Carr from Kansas. Yes, from Kansas. And wines. Okay. Old Bridge Winery we just talked to. Let me go down and let me see if we can get Victoria. Victoria, send me an invitation if you can. Let's see. To be in your live video. Voskeni Wines and Domitila sent a request to be in your live video. Domitila, I don't think you want to be in my live video. I think you just want to watch it. Here we go. ArmAs Wines. Add. Okay. And let's see if we can. Voskeni. Okay, we'll go to Voskeni Wines. Voskeni Wines. Voskeni Wines. Well, anyway, technology is making this very difficult. Voskeni, try to send me an invite if you can. ArmAs Wines. Okay. Well, this is, she sent a request. Cancel. Anyway, well, I'll wait a minute. Maybe the technology will improve and we'll try another wine. And this next one is Voskeni wine. And the Ararat Makrechen is the owner, and he's going to be coming and talking about his wine. And I know his daughter and son also. So this again is a Reni Noir. We have 3 wines tonight. 2 are red, and then 1 is going to be white, a semi-sweet. Yeah, you get that those cherries on the nose, a little bit of charcoal and tobacco. A lot of this wine is aged in Caucasian oak. Caucasian because it comes from the Caucasus Mountains. It's also known as Armenian oak. It's about 1/4 of French oak, and it's the pores are closer, the darker wood, and it's a little more astringent. You have to leave it out to dry for at least 3 years, but a lot of the winemakers use it, and I think it does a fantastic job. Okay, let us once again. Okay. ArmAs Wines. Aha! Go live with ArmAs Wines. Victoria.
Hello.
Huh?
Barev.
Great. The last time I saw you, I think we were drinking about 20 bottles on a porch overlooking your vineyard.
Yeah,
Absolutely
not much has
beautiful.
changed except the overlooking the vineyards. Cheers.
So cheers.
How are
I'm
you?
going to be actually tasting. I am well.
Good.
And we're talking about the winemakers in Armenia.
Mm-hmm.
And what you did with the property, you're the owner, but you work with your father also. He came out. He found a chunk of land. And tell us about developing that, because I think you have something like hundreds of hectares, and you actually built a wall around there, and the snakes are so poisonous that if you get bitten, you're finished. Correct?
Well, they're barbecue snakes now. They're just dinner, dessert, depending on your taste. So we actually have 180 hectares of, yes, absolutely right. It was only rocks and snakes when we began. Completely surrounded by an 80-kilometer brick wall, which we call the Great Wall of ArmAs. And within these walls, now we have 110 hectares of planted vineyards, 40 hectares of orchards, peaches, apricots, plums, apples, cherries. And so all of the flavors and aromas of these fruits and vegetables are transferred through the soil to the vines, making the grapes and the forthcoming wines that much more interesting. Now, of course, where there is labor and where there is some noise, as it were, no more snakes. So where our tourists can come and be at peace to know that, most of the snakes were barbecued or just left on their own accord.
Like I drove out all of the snakes. I have to tell you, those of you who are watching, Victoria spent 18 years living in the United States. She studied at Berkeley. She studied art history in Berkeley. She got her MBA in Moscow. She has another master's degree also. So
Working on it.
she's
I'm working
she's
on my
familiar
second
with
master's.
markets around the world. So what I'm having of yours is actually a Kangun semi-sweet white wine. You want
Very
to tell us a little bit about this?
absolutely. So the Kangun grape variety is actually a cross. It's a cross between Chardonnay and the Catelli. So it was developed around the early 1950s, and it's an incredible. We actually make both a white dry wine from this. We also make a lot of the wine that eventually we distill for brandy from this grape variety, but the semi-sweet, so we do a late harvest, so the sugar is very, very high, and then we cold ferment it, and we get around 36 grams per liter residual sugar. So it's not too sweet. What I love about that wine is it actually tastes like a wine. One of the things that I did not previously prefer about semi-sweet or sweet wines is that, it was too sweet to drink, at least for my palate, to each their own. But this one has really great acidity, and it goes fantastically with fruits, desserts, especially with almonds, anything with almonds. And once our winemaker, who is from Friuli, so the northern part of Italy, and they have this wonderful, wonderful manner in which they enjoy that wine, which is they dip a biscotti cookie into the wine, as you would like cookies and milk. Cookies and semi-sweet Kangun. It's an impeccable, just exquisite pairing. I would highly recommend. But it's also
we'll try that
by
tonight.
itself as an aperitif. Or my winemaker also highly recommends foie gras. So it's a great pairing with foie gras, if you like that type of thing.
Well, a friend of mine, I passed him off a few bottles the other night, and he left me a can of foie gras. I think he canned it himself. So that's what's going to happen after this live cast.
There you go. And also this wine, sure, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, this was actually our very first wine to get one of our highest accolades when we got a silver from Decanter with this wine that we were very, very proud of. And among many other accolades. But, semi-sweet, it's a delicacy for some. And then for others, it's a great introduction into wine for those who are not, just getting into it. But we're very, very proud of this wine. I feel like this is one of our wines that simply needs to be discovered. It's one of our lesser well-known wines, but it's an exquisite wine indeed. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I love it.
That one.
It's got the nice tropicals in there, but it's, as you said, it's not overbearingly sweet. This is not just a sweet wine. It's sort of you can have this before the end of the meal or at the beginning of a dinner also. And tell us about the future. Wine sales, well, of course, we've got the confinement. So maybe talk a little bit, just briefly, because everyone's tired of the confinement. But how is that impacting sales and distribution?
Well, absolutely. Some of us are drinking far more than others, myself included, especially after Easter. So I did do a bit of Lent. That was quite the challenge, no wine for 48 days, but I've been making up for it ever since. In terms of sales, yes, of course. Those companies that are more focused on HoReCa, so hotel, restaurants, etc., are having a very difficult time. These that are more focused on high-end restaurants, maybe we're taking a bit of hit, but it is what it is. Some people do drink more at home, and they prefer to have high-end wines at home, and pretty much anywhere in the world you can get it delivered if you try. If you want to, you can find a way in Europe, in the States, in Japan, even certainly in Armenia and elsewhere. So depending on what your country and your state or city allows. But in any case, the grapes keep on growing, and the wonderful thing is, even though in some areas, yes, of course, it is what it is, sales have gone down, but the wonderful thing in our industry is that our product doesn't spoil. it just gets better. So whatever doesn't sell this year, it's going to be only better for the next year, and it's okay.
That is
we
correct.
take it all in stride. And
That
we're
is
still
correct.
taking really great care of our vineyards. That's the most important thing. We're still getting our barrels. We're still, and in Armenia, for instance, winery operations, and as with all operations that have to do with food and beverages, are going full force. So in terms of operations, we're okay. And, it is what it is. It's temporary, and we're keeping our spirits up and absolutely enjoying as much as we can.
Good.
This
I
found
love your
time,
wine.
that's what I call it. It's found time.
Okay.
How
Kinda
else
chill
do
out a
you
bit.
find time?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Victoria. Please give my best to your father and mother, and take care. I look forward to drinking your wine after this live stream with foie gras.
Thank you. Cheers.
All right.
Cheers. Thank you
Cheers.
so much.
Okay. So we have one more winemaker, if I can get him online. It's Ararat from Voskeni. I saw that Elena said hello. Hello, Elena. Nice to have you here. Captain Kate Joy, nice to have you here. Nice to have everyone here. We have Christopher Streeter from Census Wine in Sonoma. Phenomenal wine. 3 guys when they're like 22 started this wine. Now they're in their 30s. They've been doing it for 9 years. Fantastic wine. And one of them is on the TV series SEAL Team. So he helps out when he's back home. Great people. Anyway, thanks for joining, Christopher. Christine, nice to see you there. Okay, Alina again. Let's see. Now what I'm doing is I'm finding Ararat from, hi Ararat and family. Denis Arnaud, great to have you here again. Voskeni Wines, okay. Voskeni Wines, go live. Let's see how it goes. Okay, we've given the request. Connecting. All right. Well. How are you?
Hello.
Great. The last time I saw you,
I
was with you and your sister sitting outside on the picnic table, drinking wine and eating some fantastic food. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. A bit just some weight because it's difficult to do sport enough.
Yeah, I know. Me, I've just gained weight and I need a haircut. But here are your wines here.
Absolutely.
You want to tell us a little bit? I know it's backwards. Tell us a little bit about your site, because the site of your winery is in the location of a famous battle that took place in 1918. And is that correct?
That's right. It is Sardarabad, where almost 100 years ago was a big battle between Armenia and Turkish army. And after that battle, Armenia declared its independence just the next day after it. And my grandfather, who moved to Armenia from Boston, United States, he wanted to be attached with this place. And he bought land there and planted vineyards. But that was a Bolsheviks times, and it was hard time. He was repressed, but so far we managed to get it back, and now we keep on doing what he was dreaming of.
Now, it was your grandfather, your great-grandfather, they came from Boston
No,
in 1920.
Great-grandfather.
Great-grandfather, yes.
Yeah.
Came from Boston, the United States in 1920.
He moved
wanted to start a
before,
winery, and they took his vines.
Yeah, and what is interesting that our wines now are exported to Massachusetts already 100 years ago past.
That's hilarious. Great. Polly joined.
On it.
Okay. Les and Clarissa from Etalon Rouge Winery. My neighbors just joined. Polly from Moscow joined. We have a lot of people here. So tell us a bit about this wine that I am drinking, which is your Areni red dry wine. Tell us a little bit about how many acres you have and what the challenges of growing it are in your climate.
Actually, we have a main vineyard in Arad Valley, and Arad Valley is very hot and dry during the summertime, and the sugar is increasing quite dramatically during that time, and it's very difficult to get the good balance between before harvest. So we are working hard with Stefan Darren and Kurt and consultants and on making good grape on our valley, as well as we have vineyards in mountains, not where we do wines from old wines, almost 130 years old wines. So the one you are drinking is R&D, 100%, and it is by technology. It was done by inox only, without aging in the barrels. What is interesting about R&D is that it's but by texture it's very fragile, but at the same time when you age it like proper time, you get amazing balance between oak and the berries, and that one is pure R&D without aging. Actually, I'm a big fan of the fresh. I mean, the pure berries without barrels, but US market is different, and sometimes people prefer like a hard taste of the oak in wines.
Oh, that's right. And do you use 100% Armenian oak?
Absolutely. Actually, we start making aged wines not immediately when we founded winery. We done research, and we are using oak from Artsakh, from Karabakh, and these guys are using French technology, and they're when exporting the wood to premium and other states. As Artsakh oak, very interesting. It's very intense, and you can get the approximately same effect during the shorter time. Let's say rings in from France, from oak, which is used for barrels, have about the 1 centimeter between each year in the oak.
Right.
In Artsakh, the rings are very tight to each other because the humidity is very low, and the wood is suffering a bit. So
and it can be sometimes 250 years old.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we learned. I mean, we just start experimenting with different woods from different producers, and we start with one producer which is quite doing it properly. They age it, they bring wait until it matured, because there is a lot of acid tannins which shouldn't be there, so they have to wait under the rain and
so you
sun.
have to put in the sun for 3 years to leach out those green tannins.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. Give my best to your parents and your whole family and your sister, of course. And when you guys come to Bordeaux, we're waiting for you. Okay? And when I come back to Armenia, we're going to drink some more of your Voskeni. Okay?
Thank you so much. We are looking forward to seeing you and your friends in
Great.
Armenia as well. And definitely, when borders are open, we'll be.
Thank you.
Your
Yeah. Thank you so much. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay. Goodbye. Tonight's edition, instead of being 30 minutes, is up to 45 minutes. So we'll go a few more minutes. Thank you so much for joining the talk about Armenian wines. What else do I have to do? Because I have no other platform, I will plug our wine, of course, Etalon Rouge. This is from Bourg. 100% Cabernet 7. I'm a 10% owner. And let's see this. I see Ludwig joined from Chateau Bordeaux, right up road. Nice to have you here, Ludwig. Please say hi to your brother and your dad. And who else do we have here? We have we have so many different people. Okay. And Sovereign. Armenia is a beautiful country with a very long winemaking history and terrific wines. The people are warm, and the city of Yerevan is architecturally beautiful and very interesting. Correct. I agree. If you get the chance to visit Yerevan, it's great. I mean, never heard of it before I went. It was like, I couldn't believe it. It's changed so much in the last few decades. Tigranes, okay. We have Liana. Very nice to have you here. Diego, it's great. All right, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. If you want the notes about the wine, let me know. And I'll be happy to send you any information. Thank you so much for tuning in. We talked to 3 different winemakers, and we spoke to the deputy director of the Armenia, the Vine and Wine Foundation of Armenia. The bottom line is the quality of the wine is going up. The sales are going up. And if you want to bring a bottle to your friend's place, which will surprise them, and they don't know anything about, and is great value, Armenian wines, okay? Check out my site, vinovoices.com, vinovoices.com. And tomorrow we have another. We're going to do a 4th virtual en premiere tasting of Left Bank Bordeaux. 30 minutes. We have an interview with the winemaker from the Medoc. Thank you all for tuning in. Much appreciated. And we see you tomorrow. Good night.